It's time for Dodger baseball.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMac_LA. But thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers. They lose Game 2 of the NLCS 5-4. They now trail in the series 2-0, and 2 winnable games that the Dodgers, they just blew. And we have so much to get into, so much to break down. But first, what is the biggest reason why the Dodgers lost tonight? We go into a lot of different reasons tonight, but if you look at 1 for 17 with runners in scoring position in this series so far. 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position in this series so far. Dodgers not getting it done. And how about that last sequence right there? You have Kenley Jansen coming in to face Rosario. Rosario, he was hot all night. He had 3 hits. You got first base open, and you got the next guy up, Freddie Freeman, who couldn't hit sand if he fell off a camel. He struck out his last 15,000 at-bats before that flyout in his last AB. And same situation as last night. You could have pitched around Riley with first base open, and tonight you pitch their hottest hitter, and he burns you in the game. So, look, first of all, I just want to preface this. If you want to say fire Dave Roberts, you have to also include fire Dave Roberts and the entire front office and Andrew Friedman. You can't just say fire Dave Roberts, because that would just mean you don't understand what's going on, because that's not just the Dave Roberts decision tonight. It's a collective effort with the entire Dodgers organization. So if I get any fire Dave Roberts tonight, please accompany that with fire Dave Roberts, fire Andrew Friedman, fire the front office, okay? So I just want to get that out of the way. But let's get into these takes. Here we go. Fire hitting coach from Angel. Gary, again, give me your spicy fire hot takes, guys. Let it all out right now. Urias, our man, let us down. Yeah, I mean, Julio Urias, that's another thing. Yes, this Dodgers bullpen doesn't have a surplus of lefties. I wish Victor Gonzalez wasn't a one-year wonder. They burned Vesia early in the game in a good spot, but you bring in Julio Urias, and he's supposed to be that guy that has his postseason magic. Gave the home run to Ruff in Game 5 of the NLDS. Tonight, he just couldn't come through. You had Riley hit a rocket off of him as a double. And, he just didn't come through tonight. And, look, it's a tough spot for him coming out there. He goes 1 inning, has the 2 earned runs, and gives up 3 hits. So 3 hits off Julio Urias. And, but look, the reality is I just didn't like the way this game was managed from top to bottom. I thought that Max Scherzer, he goes out there, goes 4 1/3. They wanted more length out of him, and that set everything back. And you also saw in the play where Albies, with Ozzie Albies, and in the scoring play there, in the 8th inning, that's a situation where you do that double switch. I understand you want to have Trinan, you want to have Turner replace Trinan in that situation. But, look, I mean, in that situation, you put Souza there in right field. He's got a nice arm, but Mookie Betts, he's in right field. He doesn't go, and if he does, he makes Rosario famous because he gets gunned down at the plate. But, look, the bottom line is Dodgers offense, they're not coming through. You're having terrible at-bats from A.J. Pollock once again. You got multiple scoring opportunities. You had the leadoff man on in 5 of the first 7 innings in this game. The Dodgers, they just couldn't cash in. This offense has been essentially atrocious for the majority of this postseason run, if we're being quite honest here. And if you look at tonight, another terrible night. They go 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Pollock goes 0 for 2. Pujols had a terrible at-bat, chasing that slider bottom of the zone. Looked like he never even had a chance during that AB. Bellinger goes 0 for 2. Lux goes 0 for 2. Trey Turner 0 for 1. And then how about Trey Turner there in the top of the 9th inning? He had an opportunity to go up there, and Trey Turner has been absolutely miserable in the postseason, if we're just being honest, if you look at his numbers. But he had a real chance to have a big moment there. That fly ball, 105.2 miles per hour off the bat, a 670 expected batting average, and that home run would have been over the fence at every single stadium save for Truist Park. So let's get in this comment section here. We need a defensive catcher. Look, I mean, and then do what? I mean, I wouldn't say Will Smith wasn't the reason why the Dodgers lost this game. I was at the game. It was loud from Yuri. We got Trey Turner is trash. By the way, have all your takes. We got Yuri Urias. I was Trey Turner's trash. Managing bullpen bad tonight. Go Dodgers. F. Roberts. Ron. Both Turners have been awful. Hey, at least he got hit by the pitch tonight. And but RJ fire Roberts. Trey Turner, Justin Turner, AJ Pollock trash. Kathy Peterson postseason success killed us. Yeah, I mean that's what really hurt tonight too, was seeing us get Jocktober. Usually we are the beneficiaries of having him on our squad, but Brian C hooking up with $5. Appreciate you, man. I'm gonna need to use that for some Masada fries and like a whole pack of something. But Careless Whisper fire Robertsons. We got Jason. Hard to win a 7-game series when you give 2 away. Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic take. I hear you right there, and that's exactly how I feel. The Dodgers are now in a dogfight, and it's going to be a long series, and it didn't have to be. The Dodgers could have easily gone in here and taken 2 games, but this offense fell asleep. They did not get the clutch hits. That has been the difference in this series so far. And look, this Braves team, they just they looked hungry at home. This Dodger team, they look hungry as well, but they just weren't putting the at-bats together, and they just weren't getting the job done. And there were so many opportunities throughout this game. The Dodgers could have scored runs. They could have just gone for the throat and ran away with this one. They just didn't. And it's really unfortunate because if the Dodgers go on to lose this series, this is going to be a regrettable series. This reminds you of 2013 Dodgers, 2014 Dodgers, where they just let stuff get away. And unfortunately, I mean, just so look at top of the. I mean, Mookie Betts, thought he was did a nice job top of the order getting on base, but I mean, look top of the fifth, leadoff walk for Mookie, Seager grounded to third. Then you had Trey Turner swing on a fastball away. Mookie steals second. Intentional walk to Will Smith. Lux flies to left. Then early in the game, the Seager leadoff walk. Turner was out. Trey Turner, he was on the line drive. Will Smith had the single to center. Runners on first and second. 1 out. Lux fouled to third. Chris Taylor, he strikes out swinging on a changeup inside corner. Not a good at bat for CT3 there, but he came through after that. Pog left like 10 runners on base. He's garbage. Richard Alvarez. Hey, man, I was trying to say something about Pollock, and he had a hit, and I had people quoting my tweet saying, update or this aged well. Hey, man, I don't miss a second of Dodger baseball. And AJ Pollock has just had issues in the postseason, and team's game plan, you see, he's late on fastballs. He's swinging and missing on sliders away, off-speed stuff. He struggles. And look, I mean, does he have that clutch gene? Sometimes the postseason is too big for some players. And if we're just being frank, you guys know I just keep it real with you guys. Sometimes October is too much for certain guys. And, yeah, I mean, AJ Pollock, bottom of your lineup, he has to come through. But look, they call him Playoff P for a reason. He's earned that reputation due to his lack of postseason success. And tonight was definitely another bad night for AJ Pollock. He goes 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position in this one. And he had an opportunity to score some runs for the Dodgers and come up big. And, yeah, just another rough night for him. He ends up going 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. Another crazy thing tonight, if you look at the Dodgers tonight, this Dodger team, 9 walks. 9 walks for this Dodger team, 10 strikeouts, but 9 walks and only 4 hits. That was the issue. Last night, you had the double-digit hits. That wasn't the case tonight. They ended up with 4 hits, and the Dodgers, they scored 2 runs early on that Corey Seager home run. You were feeling good about it, and then October, he evens things up there in the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll get into that at-bat in just a second, but right now, are you guys worried about this series? What is your concern level on a scale of 1 to 10 for this series? I mean, now you got to go back to Atlanta and find a way to win a game. And look, this team, they're having magic, man. 2 walk-off wins, like they point out in the broadcast, first time for the Braves in the postseason since 1991. And the Dodgers not having that magic so far in this series. And, yeah, leave bruised dart in from Andrew Gossin. Yeah, I mean, look, there's a lot of moves made in this one. A lot of moves to so this is your concern level. We'll run through that. We're going to do an in-depth breakdown in a second here. We've got a 9 out of 10 from Silent Killer. Concern is at 11 out of 10. Doug from C over on YouTube. Braves, let's go. 8's very stressed. Astros win it all. We got Wayne. Got Gary A, 8.7 concerned. Levi's over on YouTube says over. Where's Pujols from Ed Williamson? Yeah, he had didn't come through tonight. Bruce Davis, 10 over. Dodgers season is over. Dave Roberts or maybe Pryor will start game 4. That's from Joe Perez. We got Choketober from, Choketober from Armando Moreno. We got the sad emoji from Angel Lopez. My level of concern from Robbie Lux. Still not worried about this series. This series is over from Ryan Bueta. Veronica Rodriguez, 4. I'm scared now because Freeman has even touched the ball. So yeah, Russino led off with Trey, put Mookie on. put lead off with Trea and put Mookie in the 3-hole. I mean, at this point, you got to do something because Trea Turner is struggling mightily in this series once again. And so far, just pretty much in his entire postseason career, he's been pretty much awful, if we're being completely honest, if you look at his numbers. And hopefully, Trea Turner can find a way to get it together. But, yeah, having him there in that 3-hole just consistently not coming through has really been an issue for this Dodger team. And, look, I mean, he's a guy that you might want to put in that leadoff role, but then you also look at it, and Mookie Betts has really come through at the top of the lineup. So do you really want to mess with that? But, I mean, if you just look at Trea Turner this series, I mean, for this entire postseason, has a 457 OPS with a 200 batting average. So he's right at the Mendoza line, and you have one RBI from a guy you have batting third. So that's not going to get it done. And, look, Corey Seager, he had the 2-run bomb tonight. You're going to want to see him put together more hits. He's batting .219 for the postseason. But, yeah, I mean, really, other than Mookie Betts and Will Smith, really, and Chris Taylor, a lot of these guys are struggling, man. I mean, limited opportunities so far when you factor in Gavin Lux, 12 at-bats. Cody Bellinger, 6 for 21 so far during this run. But, look, the heart of this order with Justin Turner and Trea Turner doing absolutely zilch, essentially, so far. I mean, he had the 2 hits yesterday, but, look, I mean, that's not what you want to see from the middle of your infielder guy. You want your middle of your order guy. You want some more slug in that spot. And Trea, it just hasn't been getting it done, and it's unfortunate too. Some bad luck for Trea Turner. Like I pointed out earlier in the show, man, he was so close in the 9th inning to just exhaling and all of that, all those bad at bats, just rolling off his back right there and feeling good about a go-ahead home run there late in the game. But like I said, Truist Park. Only park in Major League Baseball where that wouldn't go over. But it's not over, Dodgers. I mean, look, of course it's not over. I mean, this team came back down 3-1. And look, I'm a big believer in the old adage, a series only begins when a team loses a game on their home field. And the Dodgers, they have 3 games at home. They were the best home team in all of Major League Baseball this year. They swept the Braves at Dodger Stadium. So there's no reason to think that the Dodgers can't go home and take care of business and have to go to Atlanta and have 2 games to win 1. And that's going to hopefully be the situation that they're in. Hopefully they can run the table at home. Hopefully they can run the table at home and not put themselves in a situation where they just have to go back and try to stay alive in Atlanta. So, but it's unfortunate. Look, this team got outplayed. This team got out-executed. And in my opinion, this team got out-managed in these 2 games. And look, Julio Urias, he is the guy that you want to see come out there and execute and go out there and be that knight in shining armor, be the Dodgers' secret weapon. And I always say that Urias has Urias in his veins, but he didn't look ready tonight. And I also just didn't like the move there, going with Rosario, their hot hitter. You throw him a pitch, and he smoked that one. I was getting ready for this show. I didn't even check it out. Rosario in the 9th, that was 105.4 miles per hour off the bat, a .630 batting average. Yes, it touched Seager's glove, but that was smoking hot. It was scalding hot. It would have been a miraculous play, a miraculous stop. And look, it looked like it was, I haven't checked the pitch, but it looked like it was a cutter, kind of just middle cutter right there. And he just laced it, man. I mean, let's check it out. Let's look at it. It was a cutter right there. And he just laced it, man. And he just got right on top of it. And look, I mean, it was a roll of the dice, and the Dodgers just came up snake eyes tonight on a lot of these moves. The Julio Urias move didn't work out. The Kenley Jansen move didn't work out. And the Dodgers find themselves in a 2-0 hole early in this NLCS. But let's get back to the takes, guys. Let me know. It just got real from Joe Oina. Lou, if the Dodgers are Mickey Mouse, the rest of the team, the teams are Chuck E. Cheese. Trea Turner 0 for 5. Roberts is overthinking again. Brian Anderson. We need to come up with a name for like the entire organization, like Roberts, Friedman, front office, like some type of thing that puts them all together. But arrogant Dodgers fan base, I don't know what that's about, but thanks for joining the chat. That was a painful to watch. By the way, all these guys who are just the trolls here, why don't you guys just start your own show about your own team? I mean, it'd be cool. Your fans of your team would have something to watch. But it's good that we can, have a place for you guys to kick it. But, hey, the Braves team difference from the past, the Bravos. Dave out coaching his shadow again, William Bloxon, Irene Wade. Not to overreact. I think we still win this series. Yeah, I mean, I still feel good about winning this series. I would say I'm probably, 55-45, something in that range. I still feel really good about this team, their championship medal, their pedigree, and their ability to go home with Walker Buehler on the mound. But tonight, it was just unfortunate that what really stings is it just didn't feel like they were the better team this first two games. And that's what really kind of hurts if you're the Dodgers. They just didn't feel like they were the better team, or they didn't feel like they were out clutch. There's no question about it. But the Dodgers had so many opportunities tonight to just come through and seize control of this game, and they just didn't do it. And look, the bottom of the order wasn't coming through. I almost think that you might consider putting Chris Taylor higher in the order because he's a guy who looks like he's ready for this postseason life. And look, I mean, right now, guys are struggling. Pollock has been, he had the double yesterday, but Pollock, he needs to come. He needs to step up in those big situations, and hopefully Justin Turner can get over it. But yeah, what is the number one reason why the Dodgers lost tonight? Was it the bullpen? Was it lack of hits? Was it the offense? I mean, look, I think the bullpen at this point, you're waiting for this offense to start to carry you, and at some point, you're just not going to continue to put up zeros. At some point, you're going to give up some runs. No bullpen is going to be perfect from wire to wire. We're not all Eric Gagnes, and it's going to happen. And look, I mean, if you just look at the numbers, they'll tell you everything you need to know about what this offense wasn't able to do. And guys have to step up. I thought Mookie Betts did a really nice job there. In the top of the seventh inning, drawing a leadoff walk on a 10-pitch at bat, and that's what the Dodgers needed there. Here we go, Fabian Vavidia. Red Sox are trash too. Don't forget Alex Cora. Dodgers are choking from Titleman. If they go down 3-0, it's over. Joey Akers. Yeah, I mean, considering it's only been done one time, it'd be the odds would be stacked against them. There's no question. Damian Alvaro's. We get games 3, 4, 5, and 7. Fire Dave Roberts from Cruise Digital. Nikhil Shanberg, Brusdar Gratterall should start game 3. Yes, CT3 needs to be moved up. Taylor Hare. Fabian, we got Pollock is killing me. James Grossi. Bench Pollock from Laura. Anthony Keene, I thought the opposite DMAC. I thought they were clearly the better team, but just pissed away. I thought the opposite, D-Mac. I thought they were clearly the better team, but just pissed it away in the end. That's what I said. I mean, I mean that's the point I was trying to make. I must have not said what I was thinking, but the Dodgers clearly were the better team. That's why I said last night was it a blown game, a winnable game, and tonight an extremely winnable game that the Dodgers should have won by 4, 5, 6 runs. I mean, when you get 9 free passes and you have that many opportunities with runners in scoring position, they got to Ian Anderson early in the game, and they made him work. And, that's the whole idea. You make him work, get him out of the game, and you expose those middle relievers. But the Dodgers, they didn't go up there and give you competitive at-bats, at-bat after at-bat, and in clutch situations. Like I said, I think there's some guys on this team who aren't built for this. I mean, they've proven they're not built for this in the bottom of that order, and I need to see A.J. Pollock come through in a big spot. Over 2 tonight. He had an opportunity, but all in all, it was a team loss, really, and it's unfortunate. This Braves team, give them a lot of credit. They play with a lot of heart, a lot of hunger, and they have that late game it factor that you see in certain teams in postseason runs, like we saw in this Dodger team last year. So, look, this Dodger team's going to have their work cut out for them, and, I mean, yeah, Max Scherzer on that extra day of rest. He didn't go yesterday. He goes 4 1/3 innings, gives up 2 runs, 4 hits, had 7 punch-outs, 1 walk, a home run, and he was 9 for 18 on first pitch strikes. Did have the swing and miss, but was just, and there was a very tight zone tonight. That's another thing, too. He kind of got squeezed a little bit on that Austin Riley at-bat that led to the walk, that led to the Jock Peterson home run. But here we go. Dodgers lost tonight because Roberts used his bullpen poorly. That's from J.L. Lopez. Yeah, I mean, really what the key moments for the Dodgers bullpen tonight, when you look at it, is you have so Max Scherzer, you're expecting to get 6 from him, and if you don't get 6 from him, you go to Alex Vesia, and Alex Vesia, he's a key reliever. And if Scherzer's in the game longer, you're going to have Vesia in your pocket to use in some of those big high leverage situations where you saw Julio Urias there late in the game. And Vesia, he just goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up that one hit, but had the 2 punch outs. And then you had Joe Kelly, he was phenomenal. Blake Trinan, he gave up the hit there. I mean, he had a walk, but he did his job on 9 pitches. And then Urias, he just didn't look right tonight. It wasn't even the lack of command. Really, they were just hitting him hard, and he goes in there, gives up 3 hits on 2 runs on 3 hits. And, they just got beat in those at-bats. So, look, I think that they just fully expected Urias to go out there and execute like he did last year. And he hasn't been as untouchable as we saw him. He hasn't been absolutely nails and elite like we saw last year. And that can change, too. The stuff is still there for sure. But you got to go out there and make pitches and get outs. And unfortunately, the Dodgers weren't able to win tonight. But can't play worse. We are due. We will break out. Yeah, I mean, you know what this team's going to do. I mean, they go have an offensive explosion in Game 3. Or maybe, look, this team will grind out wins at home. I'm very confident they'll take Game 3 with Buehler on the mound. But, it's concerning because at some point you're going to feel the Kershaw injury. And you're going to feel no Dustin May. And you're going to feel you don't have that big roster of starters that we saw earlier in the season. And at some point, you're going to have to use Tony Gonsolin, who struggled in the postseason in some key innings, if it goes deep in this series. So Braves aren't even better than the Giants. Dumb Mattingly would have finished this game with a W from Pat Mattson. If only we had Muncy back from Ivan. Yeah, you're definitely feeling the absence of Muncy. There's no question about that. You had Corey Seager hit the home run tonight, but Muncy's a guy that really is the Dodgers bopper. 36 bombs on the year. He strikes fear into opponents. He's a guy that the opposing pitchers account for. And, yeah, not having Muncy is an issue, but still, we're talking about an 88-win Braves team. This is not the same Braves team as last year. There is no Ronald Acuna Jr. They don't have Marcell Ozuna right now. Yes, they still have a lot of talent, and honestly, Austin Riley emerging is probably better than both those guys in last year's postseason, if we're being completely honest. But the Dodgers on 2 consecutive nights, they allowed their best player on that night beat them. And in Game 1, it was Austin Riley. He hits the bomb. He gets the game-winning hit to left off trying yesterday. And tonight, you saw what Rosario was able to do. And give them credit, too. Ron Washington making that send. That was a ballsy move. It was a great slide. So, look, they earned these victories. Make no mistake about it. But I just want to see a little more fire and tenacity from this Dodger team to go out and stomp. They should have gone out there and stomped on this Braves team. And they should have scored run after run after run. You saw what they did. I mean, the Pujols at bat. I mean, I want him to come through, but he was unable to get it done for the Dodgers tonight, and that was a big spot as well there in the top of the 6. So let's break that down. But first, back into the comment section. Do you guys think the Braves are the hungrier team in this series? Let me know. Do you see that? Do you sense that? AJ Pollock is hitting very well right now. Nikhil, I don't know what series you're watching, but I'm not going to harp too much on A.J. Pollock. I mean, look, they need guys towards the top of their order to kind of step up. And look what the Braves did tonight. And I think this is a good example of how I think they were outmanaged tonight. Will Smith had the single, but he got intentionally walked tonight. They didn't want Will Smith to beat them tonight, and they were clearly that was their game plan tonight. The Dodgers, Freddie Freeman has fallen off a cliff. Okay, Freddie has he had seven consecutive strikeouts, I believe, before that flyout, and they had him on deck behind Rosario, and Canley goes to that cutter, and he just straight up scorched it, goes off of Seager's glove, and that was the game. So I think that if first base is open in these tight games, you have to take advantage of that, and they're going out there. I don't know if it's arrogance or it's hubris or whatever it is, but you can't let the other guys' best teams be. I told you my key to the series early on was you got to contain Austin Riley. You got to contain Freddie Freeman. Well, they've contained Freddie Freeman. Austin Riley, they haven't for the most part in Game 1 or in Game 2. They had more success with them, but Game 1, he beat them. And then tonight, you saw what happened with Rosario. But Mike Soroka as well. Yeah, I mean, poor Mike Soroka tore both Achilles. Dodgers infield defense is suspect. Roberts to blame. Julio will be fine. V-Track. Yeah, I'm not worried about Julio as a starter, really. I mean, I just think it's tough on Julio. I mean, he's game for anything. He's a warrior. I call him the Urias. He's pretty much, one of my favorite players on the team. And it's tough to see him go out there in that spot and not come through after what we saw him do last year. I thought he was going to go out there, but he had the lefty-lefty matchups. And, let's take a look at that inning. Absolutely embarrassing. Focus on the positive. Giants are still in Cabo. Ed Williamson. Yeah, it makes me feel a little better. But yes, to me, Braves look better last year. Pujols swinging at garbage. Yeah, I mean, look at that at bat. So top of the sixth inning, CT3 fell down 0-2 in the count, and Drew came in to draw a leadoff walk, and down the count. So there was a great at bat by CT3, by the way. He was down 0-2 in the count, and he draws a leadoff walk. 4 times in 6 innings, they had the leadoff runner on, and that's in the 6th inning. So opportunities all night and wasted opportunities. And then Chris Taylor, he steals second. A great jump, aggressive. Webb didn't do a great job of holding the runner on. And then Bellinger, he hits one off the end of the bat, flies to left center. CT3, he tags up, makes it to third. And that gives the Dodgers CT3 at third with 1 out. And he had a steady diet of changeups to Pollock, 5 changeups in a row. And they get him. And that was it for. And then he brings in Madsick to face Beatty with a runner on third and with the runner on third and 2 outs. And they burn Beatty and they bring in Pujols, career 333 pinch hitter, 359 pinch hitter this year for the Dodgers. And it was just not a good at bat from Albert Pujols. He was late on the fastball for strike 1, out in front on the slider for strike 2, takes a ball high, and he fouls off a fastball, and then he swings and misses on a back foot slider there to end the at-bat. He's just not a very competitive at-bat. So with the go-ahead runner there, they just couldn't come through again there in the 6th inning. But here we go, 100% they are more hunger. This from Steve over on Facebook, 100% they are more hungrier and have more heart. Trevor Drake 0 for 8 with 8 Ks. We got Ruben. The Dodgers have no sense of urgency. The Braves want it more than the Dodgers. Hey, don't kid yourself. This is the Braves team that had to spend the entire offseason hearing about how they blew a 3-1 lead, how Atlanta is choke city with what they did in the Super Bowl with against Tom Brady and the Patriots. So that's kind of the MO for Atlanta sports fans and their lack of success they've had down there in the ATL. So, of course, this team's going to be fired up to take on this Dodgers team and try to find a way to redeem themselves from last year's collapse in the postseason. So, yeah, I mean, they do look hungry, but I don't think that's I think it's the Dodgers' just lack of execution on offense. Going out there, making contact when you need to, getting a sac fly, putting the ball in play, getting the big hit, and you're just not seeing that enough, and that is really the story of this series so far. The Dodger bats just collectively have not come through in situations where we've seen them come through in, and you saw tonight they go 1 for 18 with runners in scoring position, 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Last night they go 1 for 8. That's 2 for 18 on the series. Tonight, 10 men left on base. You got to cash in on those base runners. That is the recipe for success in Major League Baseball, is getting those base runners on and getting them home, and they just aren't able to do that consistently enough right now to win games. And like they're giving these games away, and they're not making pitches too. I mean, they're just they're not terrible. Last night you had try and leave that over the heart of the plate, and he crushed it. And tonight you had that cutter hanging middle there, and Rosario, their hottest hitter on the night, he takes full advantage, and he ends the game, gets the walk-off. So, yeah, I mean, the bullpen, they've been phenomenal, but they're not winning each and every one of their battles right now, and then late. But here we go. Yep, Dodgers have no fire, pound for pound. Gary A., if you don't get over your feelings about Bowers, he's going to become a – I did not say anything about Bauer, but I'm assuming that is a Lakers will break your heart too. Lakers, sports in general, man, if you follow sports long enough, you're going to run to heartbreak. But to me, I mean, I live for it. So, I mean, I think the heartbreak, the joy, the exhilaration, the joy of winning, the agony of defeat, it's all, it's all in the same thing. But here we go. The pitching with extra 100 games this season, you can't expect them to be sharp this late in the season. It's from Jose Rod 05. Yeah, I mean, of course, that's a factor. I mean, look at Julio Urias. Look at Walker Buehler. Both set career highs in innings pitched this year. I'm sure fatigue's a factor. If you look at this Braves team, they just came off a series against the Brewers team where they handled with relative ease compared to the Dodgers. They had to be giant slayers and knock off a 107-win San Francisco team. So, look, they're down 2-0. The key is to win one game at a time, and even this series, and don't put yourself in a 3-0 hole. Don't put yourself in a 3-1 hole, because at that point, your chances really start to decrease, and it's different. Like I said, last year, you had the friendly confines of little Globe Life Stadium out there in Texas with 11,000 fans. Not this time. You're playing on the road, 40,000-plus people in the stadiums, and it's different. It's different because, look, players, they have a different level of adrenaline. They have a different level of distraction with fans in the stands. I'm just saying it's harder to win with a packed crowd versus an 11,000 seat crowd. And I don't see how you can deny that fact. And the Dodgers now, they're in a situation where they always had to win one game in Atlanta, but now they put themselves in a spot where you got to go take either Game 6 or Game 7. And at this point, we're just looking at a long series, and I think that's what we're going to get. But Pollock was horrible too. We got Brand Rachel, this team. Yeah, and it's unfortunate for Pollock because he had such a great breakout year, really carried this team for the regular season, but we just haven't seen that success translate for him in the postseason as a Dodger. Really has probably been one of the least productive Dodgers postseason players in franchise history when you look at the amount of at-bats. But I'm hoping that it all turns around and he gets that big hit. I was hoping he'd get his first postseason home run, but yeah, I mean, he's hitting he has an on-base percentage of 222. He's slugging 222. He's hitting 222. He's no, that's actually Pujols. Whoops. Pollock is get Pollock's number. Yeah, so AJ Pollock. So he's hitting 182. He's actually hitting 182 in the postseason. His 4 hits, but he does have those 2 doubles. So, and he had a big game in San Francisco. And he had a hit yesterday, so he hit one over Jock's head. So I think Pollock is close to being there. He just teams are just really exploiting his weaknesses in the postseason. That's what you've seen with him. They're attacking him with that slider way, and he's down in front of breaking stuff. And then he's laid on some heaters. So look, I mean, I think that the more and you saw last year when what happened is they gave him opportunities early, and then it kind of started to fade away. So hopefully he takes advantage of his opportunities. But here you go, D-Mac, you only speak facts. Thanks, Taylor, over on Facebook. Hey, man, look, you guys know how I get down. No one loves this team more than I do. Well, we all love them equally, right? But, I just try to keep the cold, hard facts. If you want to go to a homer, that's for, Sportsnet.la and all that stuff that can spin it in that way. I mean, that's not what this is about. This is not some Dodgers PR channel, okay? This is keeping it real. We keep it real, rough, rugged, and raw here on the Dodgers Nation postgame show. If you want the positive spin, if you want all the, the fuzzy stuff that you see on TV on like Sportsnet LA, go check that out. But here we just try to, keep it real, and sometimes it's uncomfortable because we want this team to have success. But at the end of the day, we all just want this team to win, and I still think this team has a great chance to win. It's just they need to cash in on their opportunities. The bullpen at some point is going to have a little bit of regression. And anytime you see them putting up zeros, at some point you're going to see some crooked numbers. And we saw tonight, like I said, they rolled snake eyes on the Julio Urias move, and it's unfortunate. He's been that guy for this team. Corey Seager is good at catching balls. Dodgers got this. Neil, Dodgers hitters need to put the ball in play with runners in scoring position instead of swinging for the fences. Yeah, I mean, that's a great point. Here we go. That's a great point, Neil, over on YouTube. There is an approach factor there, and at some point you got to go up there and just have a quality at bat. And so if you look at this game, so let's keep going. So bottom of the first inning. Let's jump to the top of the third. So top of the third, Corey Seager, he draws a leadoff walk. Trea Turner, he hit one hard, and Trea Turner is hitting one hard. He hit one hard there. He lined to left, and then Will Smith, he singled to left center. Seager advanced to second, and then Lux, he fouled out to third for the second out. And then with runners on first and second, Chris Taylor struck out swinging. So opportunity there. You had runners on first and second. You had that leadoff man on with Seager, and they just couldn't capitalize. And you also had that one-out single by Will Smith. But nothing doing there. And then jumping to the bottom of the third. So we're going to talk a little Scherzer here. So Swanson, he flies out to center. Camargo struck out swinging for the second out. And then Rosario hits a ground ball to second. Turner had to go to his right into the shift. And he just couldn't get enough arm strength on the throw, and he was ruled out. They reviewed it, and he was ruled safe. That extended the inning. And then Max Scherzer, he comes back, and he punches out Freeman with a slider away. Here we go. F re-signing Pollock. Let the Giants have him. That is from Pound for Pound. Eddie Leal. Roberts looked scared. Looked like he didn't know what to do from Eddie Leal. Look, not all your managerial moves are going to work out. And when they don't, they're going to be magnified. And I think that will be the case tonight. There was a lot of moves from a bullpen standpoint that were made. And when you get, I believe it was 79 pitches from Scherzer tonight, he goes 4 1/3. That's going to push everyone back. And I thought that having to burn Vesia and just get 2/3 of an inning out of him when he's been absolutely electric. Joe Kelly, he's been fantastic. If you get 6 out of Scherzer, it puts you in a position where you got some of those high leverage guys in those late innings. And you got Vesia, you got Joe Kelly, you got Blake Trinan and Kenley Jansen. But they were in a position tonight where they elected to use Julio Urias. And you got to like your chances, him going up against lefties in that situation. But it just did not work out. But Dodgers for life, Taylor redeemed himself. Yeah, Chris Taylor's been phenomenal. I mean, Chris Taylor has been an absolute gamer. What can you say? Like I said, I mean, look, we can't knock these guys. For every time they strike out, every time they don't come through, because they're not. I mean, that's baseball for you, right? If you get 3 hits every 10 at bats, you're a Hall of Famer. So guys aren't going to have success every opportunity. But I think you just look at this team collectively, and you look at that 2 for 18 with runners in scoring position over the first 2 games, 10 runners left on base today, and it just points to an issue with the entire offense not being able to come through and score runs when the opportunities present themselves. But here we go, Carl. The series ends in L.A., especially if Urias is pitching. Jock Peterson owns the Dodgers. That's from Mike M. You love Roberts too. I try to be fair with Roberts, man. I just try to be fair. I mean, if you guys watch the show, you guys know I'll be extremely critical. Thanks, Zeke. You guys know that I'm very critical. If I am critical tonight, I thought that he was up against the 8 ball with the shorter outing from Max Scherzer, but look, I mean, some of these moves they just didn't come through. I mean, look, they burned Matt Beatty. Pujols at bat just didn't bear any fruit there. And, going with Julio, he's your Game 4 starter, so we'll see how that's going to impact him. But they are done for Mart Soul, Matthew Ravine. The Dodgers will come back. Joe, my season ends when the Dodgers lose this series. How about that? You guys give me your predictions. Here we go. Hey, Nick, nice boys win on YouTube. I need D-Mac to wake up with violence and rip the Dodgers a new one every once in a while. Haha. Hey, man, you guys know, man, I'm Michelada half full, Modelo half full type of guy, but, I mean, I feel like it would be inauthentic to you guys, and I don't want to steer you the wrong way. Sometimes you got to just keep it real and realize this team went in there, and they were sleepwalking during at-bats with runners in scoring position, and we saw it again tonight. That trend, they need to reverse that trend in this series if they want to advance to the World Series, and it just really hurts because, to me, it's very clear. It's very evident the Dodgers are the more talented team. The Dodgers are the deeper team. They're just not getting it done. And it's unfortunate because, look, they're in a position, and we're not going to get into I stand by Max Scherzer. I could complain and say the system is ridiculous. Why is a 106-win team going to Atlanta and playing a team that has 88 wins, and why don't they have home field advantage? But look, like Max Scherzer said, you got to win your division, and just them's the breaks. That's just how it was. And the Dodgers, they understood the challenge that was ahead of them going up there and having to try to get that split. And I was confident that they would do what they did against the Giants and get that split in Game 2. Unfortunately, it wasn't the case. But we got to talk about Jock Peterson's home run, but let's get back to this comment section. How you guys feeling? Give me your predictions. How will this series end? You got Dodgers in 6. You got Dodgers. You got Dodgers in. You got Dodgers in 7. Let me get your takes. But here we go. Brian Gax. What up, Brian Gax? Devario Moon. Dodgers always shoot themselves in the foot. Seager had that ball for first base. Yeah, I mean, it would have been a tough play. AJ Pollock should be hitting in more critical spots. You might be related to AJ Pollock, I'm assuming. Must win Game 3, Raul Flores. Oh, there's no question about that. I mean, that pretty much goes without saying. It's a must win. If they don't win Game 3, the Dodgers season is over. Okay, let's just be honest. Okay, it's very. I mean, anything's possible. I wouldn't rule out anything, especially when you saw the 2004 Red Sox. But you got to win Game 3, or else your backs are extremely against the wall. I wouldn't put it past this Dodger team to accomplish something like that after what we saw them do last year. But yeah, you got to win Game 3. And go from there. And I just hope they don't put themselves in a 3-1 hole. And that's why I feel good about, like I was talking about Globe Life Field and the energy in that stadium. Well, guess what? The same thing goes for the fact that Dodgers will be in front of their home crowd, and they'll have that adrenaline, and they'll be hopefully firing. Hopefully we won't see another Game 3 situation. And the thing that irks me, too, is, look, we just played this Giants team that was just, you just felt this Giants, that Giants team was a better team. But look, Austin Riley, he's really good. Okay, Rosario, he was really good tonight. So there is top-end talent on this Braves team, and Freddie Freeman, just like that, he could get it going and be that MVP again. But putting Urias in over Kenley was dumb. Look, I mean, you used Kenley in the eighth before, but I think that they were going with the matchups there. I mean, that was pretty much clear what they were trying to do in that situation. And look, I mean, Urias has those reverse splits sometimes. He has a reverse split, so that's something that you want to kind of factor in there. But if you look at that inning, it was I mean, he goes up there, first pitch, he gets him swinging at that curveball, at that slurve, and then the second pitch, the 1-0 pitch, a slurve away, he rips that, he just pokes into left field. He just poked that into left field. They had the shift on. He goes for a single, and then he gets Freddie Freeman to fly out to left. Rosario, he tagged up. By the way, I mean, give the Braves some credit, too, man. They were aggressive. They were ballsy. I mean, that tag up there by Rosario, A.J. Pollock, he had some nice arm strength on it, but the throw was offline. So that's a play where if that throw's on target, you get that out there. So, yeah, A.J. Pollock defensively, he's able to make some plays, but yeah, that's one that if it was online, you get that out there, and it's going to be a pretty easy inning. And I think the Dodgers win this game pretty easily. Seeing the Dodgers lose a hangover from the Giants series, Phil Hamilton. Do you guys think the Dodgers are having a Giants series hangover? That's a pretty interesting take. I was talking about to my friend about that today. Is where not only that, you got the come down of, like, it almost felt like they had won some type of World Series in that series with all the hype surrounding it, and it kind of just felt like there was this drop-off. It felt like it was almost going from a postseason game to a regular season game in Game 1, and then late in the game, you start to see this crowd come alive and realize we are in the NLCS, but I do think that's an interesting theory. Dodgers in set. Here we go. Here's all your takes, guys. If you have not yet, if you're watching the show, I want your predictions, and that way we can look back on this and we can see who was right, and if you're wrong, it's all good too. WB Dodgers in 6. We got I Hate Jock from C. Yeah, by the way, did Jock, that's a question too. Did Jock lose his once a Dodger, always a Dodger status tonight? Dodgers in 7 from Pizza King. Craig Osterberg, Dodgers in 7. Jaime, Dodgers in 7. Juan, gonna go 7 over on Facebook. Ed Scherzer said his arm was dead, not good looking forward. Wow, is that true? Wow. So that to me probably kind of changes up how I feel about the game, because Scherzer, there's always some communication with Doc and the pitching staff about how he's feeling. And interesting. You can't win every year from Leonardo Taylor. Hi, D-Mac. Hi, Jenny Vega. Charlie Morton versus Walker Buehler. Yeah, hopefully they can get him back. We know he came in that game, Game 7 in 2017, so we own one. We took care of him last year, too, when he was on the Rays. Jocktober Dodgers need to wear pearl necklaces from Pat Madsen. We got Kathy. Jocktober's home run killed the Dodgers. Yeah, let's talk about that home run. What was your one-word reaction when Jock Peterson hit that bomb? But I'm going to do rapid fire. You guys are killing it in the comments, so let's keep at it. But Giants went fishing. Compliments of the Dodgers. That's from Pound for Pound. Bruce Wayne, Roberts. Astros scoring 5 to 10 runs every postseason game so far. Yeah, I mean, they're having a lot of success in the American League. Giants are a fluke. We got Dave DeVario Moon. Why is Game 3 at 2 p.m. Eastern? That's a great question. A terrible idea. Seager lost that game from Rob Shapiro. I disagree. I mean, that's a tough play. If you look at the expected batting average, well over 600. It was scorched off the bat. It would have been a great play. It got some glove, and anytime it gets glove, you say, hey, maybe there's a chance. And he did get a 2-run home run earlier in the game that put the Dodgers on top early, and I was feeling good about that. But, offense is lost from R.J. Randy. The Dodgers are making Atlanta look good by leaving too many runners in scoring position. 2 for 18 in the series, 10 left on base today. Wasn't good for sure. Roberts is to blame from Bruce Wayne. They need to switch their lineup, no question about it. Junior Tatis Jr. I do think Trea Turner hit some balls hard today. I still, for the next few games, especially at home, I'm still sticking with Trea Turner in the 3-hole. I'm confident that he can get it going. He did have 2 hits in Game 1. Like I said, hard contact tonight. Extremely, extremely unlucky. Just got so close for the go-ahead home run. And maybe that's the theme. And that'd be funny if we go on to advance in that series. Game 3, Gavin in the NLDS to the Giants. Gavin Lux, the wind stopped that 1 home run. And then tonight you saw what happened late in this one with Trea Turner. But for sure, travel is tough. Yes, it's a Giants hangover. RJ Dodgers keep beating themselves. That's what we talked about yesterday. The Dodgers, they are snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. And you hate to see that because you put yourself in a situation where you can win games. And this Braves team, look, they've kind of caught that postseason magic, and they were getting hits today too. They out-hit the Dodgers 10-4, and not only that, that's where the game was won and lost. They go 2 for 6 with runners in scoring position, but they come through there big with Rosario and Albies. And I thought they made a mistake by not having Albies not be able to get that to get in the top of the 8th, where he's unable to get to second. But let's go into let's talk about that top of the 8th. So Rosario, did we already talk about that one? I think we already did. So so Urias, Urias, he comes in, Rosario slaps that single to left. Let's talk about the Jock home run. I don't think we talked about that, and then we'll jump ahead and talk about the end of the game a little more in depth here. But thanks for rocking with us, guys. I know it's a tough loss. Dodgers Game 3 on Tuesday, and let's see if they can make a series out of this and try to take it one game at a time and go chalk at home. That's my hope. I think this Dodger team can definitely win 3 in a row at Dodger Stadium. They swept this Braves there, this Braves team there earlier back in August. So here we go. So bottom of the 4th inning. So Albies flies to center for the first out, and then Scherzer walks Riley. So he missed badly with the fastball away, gets him to foul off a curve at the bottom of the zone, and then he misses outside again with the fastball for ball 2. Then he misses with 2 sliders inside to walk him. So he did kind of get squeezed a little bit there, but the zone was very tight tonight, and he misses with those sliders, and he actually became the first Dodgers pitcher since Game 4 of the NLDS to have a walk. That was 95 consecutive plate appearances without a walk issued by Dodgers pitchers, and that brings up Jock Peterson with runners on first and second, a 1-0 count. He crushes a curveball. It's a little cement mixer there, middle for a 2-run shot. That ties things up at 2, and that we got Jocktober, and that was 454 feet, a Tama Jock chop, longest home run of the postseason, and hanging curveball down the middle, and Jock Peterson crushed it. And my thought there was they've been trying to feed him a steady diet of off-speed stuff. They've been avoiding throwing him heaters, especially up in the zone. They know that he'll just tomahawk stuff right out. That's what he does. And they've been avoiding that, but at some point he knows he's going to be sitting on breaking stuff, and he's going to take full advantage. And I think that from a timing standpoint, he was just ready to hit one out. Sometimes I've watched Jock Peterson's entire career from start to finish, and sometimes Jock just feels like it's time for him to hit one out. And it was a big home run. It tied things up. Look, if you just look at that, it almost felt like a home run derby home run from Jock Peterson. But, that was definitely unfortunate. And then he comes back to strike out Duvall, got him to chase the slider away for the second out, and then he gets d'Arnaud to ground to the pitcher to end the inning. So that was big right there because, Corey Seager top of the first. So Mookie top of the first inning. Let's head back and see how the Dodgers got their first 2 runs. Mookie, he takes a four-seam fastball in on the hands, gets a jam shot for a single, and then Corey Seager with a 2-run home run, hanging curveball, first pitch. At that point, his 6th home run in 34 at-bats versus the Braves. Just jumped on that Uncle Charlie. That made it 2-0 Dodgers. So you're feeling good about that. Dodgers scoring first. They were 3-1 in the postseason when they scored first, but moved Mookie to third. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I've kind of suggested that in the past. And look, Trea Turner gets on base, wreaks havoc, and he's going to get some different pitches, and I think you're going to see some more fastballs, and that's definitely going to be the case. Because look, he's looked lost on off-speed stuff. I mean, you're seeing him flailing at stuff. You're seeing a lot of half swings. He struck out on a half swing one tonight. And I think it might be something they will consider if he doesn't get it together in the next few games. But like I said, it was encouraging to see him have 2 hits in game 1, hit the ball hard today. Should have hit a home run tonight, if not for some bad luck as far as which park they were in. But here we go. Dodgers win at 6. How can we be calm at 0-2? I mean, we came back when we were down 3-1 last year, okay? So, but you don't have to be calm. I'm not telling you how to fan. If you don't want to be calm, don't be calm. You can be whatever you want, man. Hey, it's okay. I act like I'm calm. Sometimes I freak out inside too, man. It's all love. But yeah, we don't have to be calm. But I do believe this team. But that's what Alex Renteria. I stressed that earlier. Burning Vesia when they did at that time was something that proved costly, especially when you saw his electric stuff. Joseph Megazzini, what up, my man? Joseph Megazzini, Dodgers Nation post game show day 1. How you doing tonight, my man? Manuel Perez, Dodgers lose in 4. Wow, that's a bold prediction. You're predicting the Dodgers lose the next 2 games at Dodger Stadium. Anything's possible. I think it's unlikely. We got Souza footwork on the play. Juan Jimenez William blocks in. Trea Turner acts like he's never played baseball at times. Yeah, I mean it's very concerning. I mean the fact that just like the 4, I think that we'll see how this ends up. And look, I was to me when you guys asked me who I had for my NLCS MVP, I said I want to pick Mookie Betts, and that's who I think it will be. But I also said I'm just gonna throw Trea Turner in there just so I can LeVar Ball this thing and try to speak it into existence, because I just want Trea Turner to have that success in the postseason that he has in the regular season. And it's just remarkable to me. This guy was the batting champion, a .328 batting average in the regular season this year. And if you look at for his career, he has a .303 batting average in the regular season. Let's compare that to the postseason. So heading into tonight, he has a .233 batting average in the postseason. He's slashing .233, .276, .301 with a .577 OPS. And that is before tonight's numbers. Do the math real quick. Where he ends up going 0 for 5 and 3 strikeouts. I mean, that's really, you want to circle something in the box right there. That's where you circle it. I mean, you just need more production. I mean, that it's as simple as that. Trea Turner can't be K Turner, if you know what I'm saying. You can't have those 3 punchies in the middle of your lineup, and it's unfortunate. Did get some bad luck tonight on some of those. We've kind of talked about that ad nauseum at this point, but you can't have that lack of production, especially when you got, I mean, at some point, Will Smith's going to need some protection if they're going to try to pitch around him. So, other thing, too, we talked a lot about Bellinger and Gavin Lux being the Kobe and Shaq coming through big, and they go 0 for 6 tonight. So they didn't produce like we had hoped. Chris Taylor, he goes 1 for 2, had that big double there off Jackson to score 2 runs, and put the Dodgers up 4-2, and you were hoping that he does that in the 7th inning. You're hoping that the Dodgers could run away with it. But, can Jock hit a slider? Jock Peterson's hair looks bad. We need J.K. Simmons from Whiplash running bullpen on Tuesday. Iris, I still love the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course, man. Dodger blue until I die. The ring still blings, haters. I like that line. Gotta wake up the Dodgers bats, my boys for life. A win is a win, 100%. Man, if you're not gonna be with the Dodgers in their dark times, then you shouldn't be celebrating with them when they triumph. Okay, you got to ride or die with your squad. But I know you guys are like that. And look, I mean, I always tell people, the more these losses hurt, that just means that's the more these losses hurt, the more you love this team, the more you love this franchise, the more you love Dodger Blue and everything that surrounds it. So the pain you feel is love. I trust me on that one, okay? Max equals Kevin Brown. Yeah, I mean, I thought that it was interesting. I think it was a bold comment that I disagreed with during the broadcast where they was it Ron Darling, who, by the way, does Ron Darling cry every time something happens good for the Dodgers, and then like internally, just like, go nuts when something happens for the opposing team? Because it does feel like that, but don't want to get too far into that. But yeah, I mean, they made the claim tonight that he was the best pitcher in the last 10 years. And you could definitely make a case, no question, but since 2011, Clayton Kershaw, a 2.32 ERA, a .94 WHIP, and a 59.5 FWAR. Scherzer, a 3.05 ERA, a 1.05 WHIP, and 58 FWAR. So to me, I still think Pete Kershaw is the pitcher of his generation. Then there's Verlander. And by the way, I accept all Verlander slander. I mean, I love the Verslander. And man, did you see his brother? He just went 0 for everything for the predictions. Don't ask him for the lottery numbers. Cheeks, it's really astonishing. Where did his bat go, Danny Boy? I mean, look, it's astonishing. And you see, it's the breaking stuff that he struggles with too. And yeah, and I understand. I mean, you guys want to take aim at Doc, and there's that's totally cool. But look, I mean, Trea Turner's got to come through, man. He does. I mean, look, Manny Machado, 2018, he was supposed to be that guy they traded for at the deadline. He's a shortstop, and he underperformed in the postseason, but he was still better than this current version of Trea Turner at this point. But I do think the hard contact tonight, I believe in Trea, and I just want to say I think that Trea will turn it around. I'm pretty confident about it. I do think that he's just kind of out of sorts at the plate. Almost think he looks indecisive. I mean, anytime you see some of these half-swing strikeouts, you start to get concerned, but I think he's very close to clicking. I really do. Sorry, D-Mac, I was replying to someone else. No, hey, man, you do your thing, man. I like when you guys have the sidebar. Kobe and Shaq. And when I say he's close, I mean, I think he's like close to not having over fives, okay? I mean, did have those 2 hits in game 1, hit the ball hard tonight. I mean, would you be really shocked if he went 2 for 4, 2 for 5, and maybe had a double and a single? I mean, me personally, I wouldn't. I've seen some crazy slumps. Get the win on Taco Tuesday, Jimmy Denson. I like that. Tina G-Man, they shouldn't always swing on the first pitch. They've been ambushing. They've been aggressive. Yeah, but I mean, tonight, like, they did make Anderson work. I mean, they did. They did make Anderson work, and they got to the middle of that bullpen, and that should have bared some more fruit when it comes to the scoreboard. They should have lit that sucker up like the 4th of July, and it just didn't happen. But tell Muncie to come back, stop being a B. Hey, man. Well, my man, Mr. Clint Pasillas, he seems to think it's a possibility. So here we go. We got the bandwagon fans are worthless. We don't want you. I think Dodgers in 7. Dodgers until I die. What'd that guy say on the Jimmy Kimmel thing? He's like, the Giants from the womb to the tomb, or was he a Dodgers fan? I thought that was a good line. Hurts because it's preventable. That's from Gary A. Yeah, let's look at that Jock Peterson. Oh, we already talked about that. Yeah, and then you got more scoring opportunities. So top of the 4th, Bellinger fly to left. 1, 2, 3 inning there. Bottom of the 4th, Albies fly to center. Talk about that one. The top of the 5th, 4-pitch walk to lead off the inning for Mookie Betts. Seager, he grounded to the 3rd for the first out, and then Trea Turner, he strikes out. So this at bat, this sequence, they bust him with a fastball away, had a little half swing, and that's what I was talking about. At least get your money's worth right there and go down hacking. And then Betts stole second, and then they had the intentional walk to Will Smith, and Gavin Lux, he ends up flying to left. Then the bottom of the 5th, first pitch leadoff single to Swanson, and then he gets Rosario. And then Scherzer gets Rosario swinging with a slider away for his 7th punch out, and that was it for Scherzer after just 79 pitches. And he's a guy that pitches better the longer he is in the game, and he's out there on the mound. But you did have those back-to-back lefties in Rosario and Freeman, and then Vesia comes in, and Rosario hits a line drive single to center. Hits that one pretty hard, 102.6 miles per hour off the bat. And then Freddie Freeman busting him inside. They're trying to keep him from extending that bat. That's their strategy against him. And just kind of going with the pitch into left field. And on a 2-1 count, he missed a fastball down the middle, and then he strikes out Freeman on a slider. So nice job there. Then on a 2-2 to Albies, he just throws that fastball right by him. So I thought that was an electric pitch by Alex Vesia. And like I always say, don't mess you with Alex Vesia because he is the real deal. So he's a real weapon. We talked about the top of the 6th, the bad at bat there by Pujols. Top of the 7th, we talked about that. So yeah, I mean, we pretty much we broke down this entire game. It's you look at we know the reason why the Dodgers lost tonight. They weren't able to come through. Someone in the comments said that Max Scherzer said something about some dead arm. Can you guys confirm that for me? Because I think that would kind of change my opinion on some stuff. And because look, if he goes deeper into this game, I mean, he's a workhorse, especially when you consider he had that extra day of rest and didn't go in Game 1. I fully expect him to get close to 100 pitches tonight, and that wasn't the case. Ends up with 79, goes 4 1/3 innings. So that is, by his standards, an extremely short outing. So he goes his regular 6. It kind of lines up that bullpen to the point where you're not having to use Julio Urias, and that kind of hurt this Dodgers game plan as far as the pitching goes. But then, look, this Dodger team, I mean, on the night, they go 4 for 31 with 10 strikeouts, and they end up drawing 9 walks. So 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position. You leave 10 on base, you're not going to win a lot of games. So this loss really falls on the Dodgers offense at the end of the day. But, guys, I still feel until we go down 3-0, okay, we win. Look, we take care of business at home, and we just saw this Dodger team go on the road and beat a Giants team that won 107 games with Logan freaking Webb, who was an absolute baller this year, was an absolute wagon for that Giants team. They went up there and they beat this Giants team, and if they win these next 3 at home, they give themselves an opportunity to go to Atlanta and have 2 games to win 1. So that has to be the goal right now. You take care of business at Dodger Stadium, where you won 58 games, more than any team in the regular season, and you head to the ATL and you give them the ATL and you advance and let's just break their hearts again, okay? Let's break the Braves' hearts again this year, just like they did last year. And like I said, hey, what I say after the game, I tweet out, hey, this team insists on making things harder. And, look, it is the Dodger way. Vin Scully's talked about how nothing comes easy for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and this is another prime example. But, yep, guys, Diane, you think this is a Giants series hangover? Yeah, I mean, I do think it's possible. I mean, you really had to play up. Very tight series, a lot of tension, a lot of stress, and they really went out there and had to really fight to win that series. But, yep, guys, thanks for rocking with us. I know it's a tough loss, but hey, man, you guys help me get through these tough losses, and I hope you guys use this to get all your takes out. And like I said, every time you're watching these Dodger games, have your takes ready for the show. And if I don't get to it at first, I'm going to keep going back. So you guys are killing it this whole postseason. I appreciate you guys being a part of the action. Like I said, we are all co-hosts on this. I'm the man of the fan, but this is your show. I'm just hosting it. So, guys, keep coming with those fire takes all postseason long. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. If you guys want to continue the chat over there, we can talk baseball all night long on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. Like it says right there. Go to gearup.la, guys. Get your merch game up, man. Get your merch game up over at gearup.la. Some of the best fire tees in the game, rocking that one tonight. My man Eddie, shout out to my man E-Rod. They're killing it as always. Definitely get merched up. Get some Dodgers Nation drip. I'm telling you, don't lose faith in this team. Don't count out this team. They're down 2-0. Come home. Take care of business. Go to Atlanta and advance to the World Series. That has to be the plan of attack at this point. Also, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. Dropping new content all day, every day. We have all the post-game press conferences, got live shows. This one, my man, Mr. Clint Pasillas. By the way, happy birthday to Mr. Clint Pasillas. I just want to get in there. He's the GOAT. He's the legend, man. He, he's the one who lands the plane here at Dodgers Nation. He keeps things right. Shout out to him. Big time happy birthday. He's the GOAT. Also, wish him happy birthday in the comments. Appreciate that. And then also, download the new fan app. The new fan app is fire. They have a virtual reality thing where you can walk around all of Dodger Stadium. But yep, guys, we'll see you guys Tuesday. Hopefully you guys can call off of work. Tell them that I said it was okay. You can tell them D-Mac said you're not working Tuesday. You have a Dodger game to watch. And more importantly, you got a post-game show to participate in. But yeah, go Dodgers, even in a loss. And tough loss. But yeah, we still bleed blue around these parts. And the Dodgers will get it done, and they'll make a series out of this, and I'm confident in that. But here we go. Last round of comments, guys. Down 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. Let's get your takes. Chop chance suck. Yeah. I'm hoping that at the end we can say Anthony Keene. Let's see. Confirm D-Mac. He says arm felt dead, and he knew he wasn't going to make it deep into the game. So, yeah, that changes a lot of things, Anthony Keene. I appreciate you you keep me updated. And, I mean, how this bullpen was used, and there was not very many options and not a lot of lefties out of this pen. I mean, it just doesn't, yeah. I mean, at that point, you pretty much are not with very many options if you're the Dodgers. So, really, they were kind of put up behind the 8 ball. And really the concern now is what will they do if Max Scherzer has to miss a start or they have to limit his innings. So that kind of thing, that's the big question right now. I mean, you got Vest, you got Justin Brule, 2 southpaws out of that pen. David Price, we'll see if they have some type of IL situation to try to get him up if they can. I mean, we'll see a lot of questions at this point. But thanks for rocking with us, guys. Here we go. Jenny Vega, yeah, your team still has a chance. Gary Jock with the hair is a SJW. What does that even mean? A big off day tomorrow. But, yep, guys, Scherzer is good, but overrated, very disappointed. But thanks, guys. Hey, best fans of the game. See you guys on Tuesday. Check for new content tomorrow. Rock with Clint and Brooke tomorrow on the Blue Heaven podcast. Lots of storylines, man. I'm going to get to the bottom of everything when it comes to Scherzer and what the Dodgers will do. So look for new videos on the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel. But yeah, see you guys next time. Tough loss. Dodgers lose 5-4, get walked off again. They trail 2-0 in the NLCS. But hey, there's nothing like Dodger baseball, and nothing brings us together quite like Dodger baseball. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time. It's time.